What's up, everybody? You're listening to a Carolina Sports Update here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. As always, a lot of stuff to talk about today. We'll talk a little bit of Carolina fans. There's not a whole lot. We've got hockey, we've got soccer, MLS, USL. We've got college sports. Spring games are in full swing. Semester's coming to an end, so you know that means tournament time as well. We'll talk about all of it, maybe a little bit more if we can get to it right after we hear from a few of our sponsors. So y'all stick around and we'll have a great episode today.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clanking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Some great stuff going on there. Be sure to check out all of our sponsors that we have. I particularly like that Vital Apparel. We've talked about it before. Really great product and really great cause, helping support mental health awareness. So be sure to really give them check them out. 15% off. It's not too shabby either. So get over there. You can use that code IESR. And get yourself a very nice discount. And be sure, as it says, to check us out on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and especially YouTube, where we stream all of our podcasts. Just look up IE Sports Radio, and you can find us there along with all of our other, you can find me there along with all of our other channels. And of course, make sure when you get there, you subscribe, like and subscribe to this channel, and you'll be notified every time I go live and we start talking Carolina sports across the Carolinas, North and South Carolina. We're not just going to talk Tar Heels. We'll talk, even though, that's why I got up back there. We'll be talking about all of our Carolina sports as much as we can anyways. There's a lot going on here, as you'll find out today. But we will try to get to as much of it as we can. All right. Just a little note of warning. I am experiencing some really bad lag today. I don't know what's going on. You'd expect for the prices we pay for internet nowadays, we could get some quality and some consistency. But I think one of my kids is streaming some TV in the other room, and I think it's killing me right now. So if you see weird hiccups, if you see me just pop in and sit there and stare at the camera during a show drop or something like that, please forgive me ahead of time, and forgive my computer, particularly because it's just, I don't know what's going on, but it's not keeping up. So just a heads up, a little bit of a warning there. All right, let's go ahead, talk to the top. I wanted to get into a little bit of Panthers. Obviously, things are really calming down a lot now, but we do have a little bit of stuff to talk about. I had 2 days of rookie mini camp this last week. Some interesting stuff going on there. Getting the new guys in. I had the 8 draft picks, and I think it was 19 undrafted free agents come in to kind of start to mesh, learn the team, learn the system, start learning playbook stuff, and then also getting in with the coaches and starting to learn who their position coach is going to be, how they operate. Same thing for the coaches, getting to know who their new rookies are, how they learn best, and things like that. So a couple key takeaways I noted over this time frame. First one that kind of jumps out, I think, to a lot of people here: outside linebacker Jadeveon Clowney released by the team. That's mainly primarily their cap savings. Really, I think it freed up around $7 million in cap space. So big one there. And then when you look back at the offseason, all the different signings they did, and then obviously the draft, bringing in Scorton and Imani Allen, really loading up heavily in the outside linebacker at edge position this offseason. So you knew there was somebody going to take a cut, I think, from the current roster of edge defenders. And while you might think DJ Johnson will have been someone to cut, I think he's still a little younger, a little fresher in his time in the NFL. And so maybe still some potential there to pull from him, although production-wise, down a lot lower than Clowney. However, Clowney also counts a little bit more against the cap, so I think it came down straight business decision to release him. Next, Jimmy Horn Jr., wide receiver, drafted from Colorado, last pick of the for the Panthers. A lot of speed for this guy. Really fast through a lot of practices. Reporters talked to him about it afterwards and how well he's been performing, and he talked about the fact that he still hasn't gone his full speed yet. So we'll see how that translates into gameplay. Sometimes you can have a little too much speed, I think. Things get carried away and kind of get away from you. You got to slow the game down, play within your limits, and we'll see if Jimmy can translate that speed into some game time action and points. Really, that's all we want, points. And then another transaction here, Jonathan Brooks, running back drafted in last year's draft, who had re-torn his ACL about 3 games into the season, has been put on the physically unable to perform or PUP list. And with a designation at this early, this point in the offseason, with that designation, that will rule him out for the entire 2025 season. Talked about that before on here. Something I think we almost kind of saw coming probably, but that, if he was going to come back this season, it was probably going to be pretty late in the season. It was probably going to be a really light load, and that, the best thing for him might actually have been to just have a season off to recover and recoup. I think that's why you saw that Dowdle signing by the Panthers have that kind of dynamic performance out of the backfield. So we'll see how Dowdle works this season. And then when we get into 2026, we'll see how things are going with Brooks and where the Carolina backfield goes from there. And then my last thing, looking at this rookie mini camp, looking at OTAs coming up over the next couple of weeks, voluntary team activities over the next couple of weeks, will be a kicking competition that will be developing here between Ryan Fitzgerald, so I almost said Fitzpatrick, but Ryan Fitzgerald, kicker from Florida State University, competing against Matthew Wright, who has been in the league for a little bit. Actually been with the Panthers before, but this could be a really interesting competition. Fitzgerald, Brian, as an undrafted free agent, incredible production while he was with Florida State. Over the last 2 seasons, he was perfect on PAT extra points, and then went 32 of 34 on field goals on a whole, and 5 of 5 on kicks over 50 plus yards. So that is a lot of crazy good accuracy and production from him. So with Pinheiro, I think kind of fading out toward the end of last season, some of the struggles we've seen him have, I think this became kind of a obvious move for the Panthers. And so, like I said, we'll see how that develops over the next few weeks. Canales mentioned that this will probably be a competition that starts right away. They're not going to wait till training camp at the end of the summer. They'll start it now, OTAs and voluntary team activities. So we'll see how that goes. And hopefully we can find a steady, consistent kicker for the future. All right, let's go ahead and we'll cut from there. Oh, look, there I am. Nice. Okay, I'll cut from there and start talking a little bit about our Hurricanes There we go. Hey, good. Things are moving along a little bit better now, it seems like. Let's get some Hurricanes info in here. All right, there we go. Banners up, scrolling. Man, okay. Maybe we're picking up a little bit. Like I said, it was not moving that well earlier. I was testing things out. All right, Carolina Hurricanes are continue to play well during the playoffs. We talked about at the end of the season, right before playoffs started, it seemed they had hit a little bit of a slump. I think they lost or they won one or two of their final, I think, 6 games before they went into the before playoffs started. But since the playoffs have gotten going, so have the Hurricanes, and this past evening was no exception. So Carolina takes a 4-0 win against Washington at home in Raleigh. This puts them up 2-1 in the series. Had Frederick Anderson had his first career playoff shutout. So that's an incredible night for him. And of course, our next match will be not long after this at 7 p.m. tonight. So be sure to, once we're done here, take your breather, grab some food, grab some, some good game time food. Oh, wait, I almost forgot to do this. Grab some game time food. There we go. And be sure to tune in and check out the Carolina Hurricanes taking on the Washington Capitals. So far this series, it's been a little bit of a back and forth. Carolina, though, going up and taking the home opener away from Washington. They won that one 2-1. Jacob Slavin with a goal in overtime slipped it right beneath the goaltender's hockey pads, just slipped it right in there. Almost nobody noticed it go in immediately, but great goal from Slavin to give the Hurricanes that first win. Really great way to start the series off, going into the opponent's territory, getting that opening game win. But Washington did bounce back the next night, played a lot more like themselves. They took the second game 3-1. I kind of expected that, expect a team as good as Washington. If you come out and hit them hard right away, you expect them to hit right back. And sure enough, they did. But then a couple of nights ago, Carolina coming down, defended home ice in their opening game. And like I said, they are now up 2-1 in that series. They will be looking to take a commanding lead of the series 3-1 tonight. If they could get that win, that's a pretty advantageous position to be in. Because after that, obviously, they'll be going back to Washington for another home game. Washington will be in desperation mode at that point. And even if they get that win, then you have the option of getting back here to Carolina, getting back to Raleigh, and seal the series there, or go back to Washington with that 3-1 lead and be able to close out the series and get this done and over with, and start getting ready for the next round. So far in this series too, let's see, this first game, of those 4 goals, 2 of them were on they're both power plays at the lag. No, okay. Penalty kill and power play was going to be something that really helped set the tone for the Hurricanes, and in game 3, it certainly did. 2 power play opportunities and 2 goals for Hurricanes out of that. So really helped push that game along. A couple of things to note so far in this series after 3 games. Shots, Carolina leads 89-56. So definitely much higher volume of shots from the Canes. Basically, you keep shooting, and eventually one's going to get in there. And I think that's exactly what game 1 was like. Kept shooting, and they got that game winner in there. And then, game 3, those shots were a lot more consistent and found the goal there. But again, you just keep that puck flying, and eventually good things will happen. And then for the power play goals, Carolina right now leads that. Again, those 2 goals from the last game after giving up 1 goal to Washington earlier. So 2-1 power play goals to 1 in favor of the Hurricanes. But to find out more, to hear a little bit more about this series, and particularly from the Capitals' point of view, make sure you check out Let's Whine About DMV Sports with Mike Pat. He is also here on IE Sports Radio. You can find him on YouTube, and he will give you a great rundown on the Washington Capitals. Although he won't have any answers for how they're going to win this series. All those answers belong to the Hurricanes. You can also check out the Neutral Zone with Adam Karnick, Zach Popoulos on here, also again here on IE Sports Radio for more on the NHL playoffs. There apparently are other teams playing, so just for the chance to be able to face the Hurricanes in the next round. But those guys are really great about covering the NHL and can give you all the great information on those series and how they're playing out and who we can expect to see going forward. All right, we're going to take a quick break here again for a couple of drops from some of our partner shows. And when we get back, we will get into some soccer, MLS, USL. It's all good, and it's all here.
Hello, sports fans. It's me, your boy Larry B, and I want to walk you through the world of sports. No, not just the mainstream major TV deal type sports, although those are important too. But let me be your guide for your journey of all sports, from college to the pros, the minors, and everything in between. Each week, we are talking sports galore with true diehards just like you from a hardcore fan's perspective that's sure to quench your thirst around leagues you may know all too well and some you may even discover here. That's right, sports fans. If you love sports of all kinds, enjoy hearing amazing sports stories, and respect all sports because you know how difficult any of them can be to play or compete in, then this is your show. Join me, your boy Larry B, on the defining moment each week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports, and let the sports come to you.
It's IE Sports Radio. It is your direct feed for all that is sports. It is Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris every Tuesday night right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris is the most comprehensive view on Philadelphia sports exclusively right here on IE Sports Radio. You know what it is, your direct feed for all that is sports. Tuesday night, IE Sports Radio, Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris.
All right, everybody, welcome back. All right, things look like they're working now. Okay, good. Fortunately for Charlotte FC, things were not working so well this weekend. Played at Nashville, went on the road to Nashville. We've talked about before their troubles on the road, and they continue now. They have now dropped 3 games in a row. This being a little bit sad when you don't count the North Carolina FC game that they played in Cary. But it's 3 games in a row. First half of this match was pretty even, kind of a back and forth shift, and then opened up the second half with, actually pretty quick game here, or pretty quick score here for Charlotte. Leal Abada in the 48th minute got a nice shot on goal. Put FC Charlotte up 1, but Nashville was quick to respond after that. 2 minutes later, they put in their own goal. Right? Yeah. About a minute later, they put in their own goal to even it up, and then another 5 minutes after that, they went and got the go-ahead goal. Charlotte, not though didn't go quietly. A lot of really good attempts going forward from here. Wilfred Zaha with several attempts from the top of the box that were blocked. He actually had 2. I think free kick that was blocked. Let's see. Yep, there we go. Yeah, sorry. Trying to catch my place here. So I have free kick as well that was blocked. So really tough evening for Charlotte FC. But it's kind of starting to creep back up. The trouble they've had not only on the road, but starting to see this offense we've talked about before, where it's been kind of a slow start in the first half, but usually in the second half it can get out pretty quickly. The defense, which had been so reliable in the first 6 games or so, holding most teams to about 1 goal, not 1 or none. Now is giving up, I think, 6 goals in the last 2 games. That's not ideal, to say the least. So I think Charlotte's going to need to take this week, kind of get back together, regroup, kind of rediscover that defensive identity that they had, try to light a little bit more of a fire in themselves offensively. Adjaman has not been really, I think, playing up to what he would consider up to par. Most of the goal scoring a lot of the goal scoring actually has come from Abada. Pep Biel has still leads in assists. So goals. Leal Abada has scored 4 goals and leads the team, followed by Pep Biel at 3. Zaha's got 3 as well, but you really want to see Adjaman get in there and start making a difference as well, playing that forward striking position. And then let's see, assists. Pep Biel leads everybody by a wide margin with 6. So hopefully Charlotte can really start to find a better groove here. Hopefully these guys can start coming together, open up some of that aggressiveness, and start putting the ball in the net a little bit more often, especially there in the first half. But as if they don't, they're going to start slipping. They're still sitting okay in the standings, sitting at 6 in the Eastern Conference standings, I think. See, I'll try to expand that a little bit. Yep, 6 in the Eastern Conference. So, yeah, let's see. They're still, in the hunt to qualify for the playoffs, but not with the way that things are going right now. All right, let's shift gears a little bit and talk. We'll keep talking some soccer, but we're going to move on to our USL Championships League. Yep. Bang and bang. Nope, we're slowing back down again. Yep, it didn't actually take my color code. Sorry, guys. That's what I was talking about. A little bit of a hiccup here. There we go. There we are. Now we're firing on it. So, all right. Some USL Championship soccer. So good stuff. A lot of fun here. Had North Carolina FC, we talked about last time, went up against Charlotte FC. That was unfortunately a loss for them in the U.S. Open Cup. But since then, they've been playing really well. Why is it not giving me that? Including a Nice win over Orange County SC, 1-0. Let's see, there we go. Sorry, I had all this stuff pulled up, and then my pages reset themselves. All right, sorry guys. And then also in the USL Championship League, we've got the Charleston Battery, staying really close to the top of the standings there. Came down to Tampa, played the Tampa Bay Rowdies this week, and won that game pretty decisively, 3-1. So really good matches here from our teams in the Championship League, and really fun to, like I said, check them out, see how things are going. I mentioned before, we've got a couple of weeks left until we reopen the Jägermeister Cup, which should be a lot of fun to check out as well. Next up for the North Carolina FC will be the Oakland Roots SC. That's going to be this Friday, May 16th at 7 p.m. And Wake Med Soccer Park there in Cary. So good home match coming up for North Carolina FC. Charleston also with a home match coming up at Patriots Point this Saturday, May 17th, 7:30 p.m. So for anybody there in South Carolina or near Charleston, be sure to look that up. Get downtown, get out there and check them out. Lived in Charleston for about a year. It is a very interesting, very fun little town. You get outside of Charleston into like the burbs, and it can be very suburban-ish. But you get back downtown Charleston into the historic district, and it's really beautiful and very nice down there. All right, finally I got my scores up here now. So Charleston Battery versus the Rowdies here. Took off quickly, 7 minutes in. Charleston with their first goal and scored all three of their goals here in the first half. Tampa Bay did manage to pull one goal back late in the second, 77th minute. But by then, obviously too little too late for them. And Charleston Battery was able to decisively take that game. And then, great. And now I got my FC. So Rodrigo da Costa with a goal in the 45th minute there. Able to put North Carolina FC, was all the North Carolina FC needed to get the win. So great job there from both of those clubs, and looking forward to following them through the rest of their season, especially into the Jägermeister Cup. Hopefully they can, let's see, Charleston Battery, I think already, they did manage. Nope. Despite having such a strong regular season record, Charleston Battery with the initial lost their opening game in the Jägermeister Cup. So hopefully they can bounce back from that, pick up a couple wins, and take over in Group 6. And then North Carolina FC in Group 5, still sitting in the middle, thanks to some help from goal differential, but also with loss in their opener. But looking into USL 1 now. Yep. We've got Charlotte Independence. They are sitting at the top of their group in the Jägermeister Cup. And then Greenville SC, towards the bottom, they're just ahead of Charleston Battery in their group 5. But both teams having a good weekend as well. Let's see if I can. There we go. Charlotte Independence with a great game against Westchester SC, taking the win 3-2. This was a come from behind victory here for the Independents. Westchester had actually gotten up 2-0 in the first half, and then in the second half, Independence came out firing, and Maru, I looked his first name up too. There's no way I can pronounce that first name. He's from Cameroon, but came on hard in the second half, played strong, and got the hat trick, actually, scoring in the 57th, 73rd, and 89th minute to get Charlotte that come from behind victory in the USL. So that improves them. They are also near the top of their standings, third in the USL 1 standings. And then Greenville Triumph SC, again, down in South Carolina. If you guys are out there, make sure you're tracking these guys down. And Greenville, never been there, but man, from what I've seen, looks like a really nice little town there too. So a great back and forth game here between Greenville and the Richmond Kickers, with Richmond coming out with their first goal only 3 minutes into the game, and then Greenville replying with 2 goals at the 31st and 33rd minute, and then Richmond coming right back at them 39th minute with a goal. Greenville back ahead in minute 84, thinking, maybe they had the game winner there with only, 6-10 minutes left. But, oh, no, sorry. Got that completely wrong. Richmond in the 80th minute with the goal. Only 10 minutes left, maybe a little bit in stoppage time, hoping to have gotten the game winner, but Greenville was able to pull it back again now in the 84th minute. And turn the loss into a draw, which, great news. Actually reminds me of my son's game this weekend. Pretty much the same way. They got out early to 1-0 lead, and then the team they were playing got up on them by 3 goals to 1, and then late into the second half, son's team came on strong, played hard, picked up a goal. And then, so now you're going down by the 1, and they played hard to get that 3rd goal and pulled out a draw instead of a loss. Always great to see, young people, especially your children, working and playing hard to overcome things like that. Okay, get down there. You're feeling a little beat up, but you get out there, get things turned around, and a draw is not a win, obviously, but the fight back and not give up in those kinds of situations is fantastic, I think. All right, last soccer talk for the evening. We'll talk a little North Carolina Courage up there in Cary, sharing space with North Carolina FC. They have, played reasonably well here over the last few matches. Last week we talked about a win for them. This week, though, came down to play Orlando. Sorry, guys. Came down to play Orlando Pride and drew even with them 1-1. So nice. Game rematches or game replays and highlights can be found on ION. If you just get to National Women's Soccer League page, all these games have watch replay, and it'll take you to ION where you can watch the replays. Found out doesn't cost anything, at least as far as I could tell. Was able to watch a little bit of a replay of that match. Really great play from the Courage. They got, hit the goal in the first half and then played hard throughout the match. And then in stoppage time at the end of the game, Orlando able to pull even with a goal then 3 minutes into stoppage time and get the draw there. So a great game there for the Courage in the but we will see them playing soon. Let's see. Sorry. But looking forward to watching them play again here soon. There we go. With their next game, loading on my screen. We'll talk a little bit. North Carolina sent. Again, they haven't played for a while, but their next match will be 17 May. So, again, this weekend, 7 p.m., lots of great soccer going on this weekend. Friday, May 16th. Nope. Again, Saturday, May 17th, 5 p.m., you can catch the Courage facing off against the Chicago Stars. Again, they're in Cary. So this weekend, tons of great soccer going on. Make sure, pick your team, follow your team, and stick with them because there's going to be a lot of it going on. All right, we're going to take another quick break here. Let's go with that because I like that color the best. And when we get back after a couple more drops, we're going to talk a little bit about not that. We're going to talk a little bit baseball and spring sports coming up and all the great tournament action that we've got going on as well.
Hello, IE Sports Radio family and other sports families. My name is Alden Kay, and I want to welcome you to the AZ Sports Zone on the IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. If you're a fan of the Valley and the Grand Canyon State like me, then I've got the show for you. Tune in every week, where I will update you and give you the latest news for the Arizona Cardinals, Phoenix Suns, Arizona Diamondbacks, ASU Sun Devils, U of A Wildcats, GCU Antelope, and of course, the NAU Lumberjacks. Again, if you're a Valley sports fan and like all that is desert sports like me, tune in every week here on the IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll see you then.
Hello, ladies and sinners. Hello, sports fans around the world. Hello, IE Sports family. This is Cale Henderson, the host of IE Vegas, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio. If you folks are interested in sports in the Vegas area, if you're wanting to have a blast for 1 hour, every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, this is a show built for the Vegas sports fans, where we feature the Las Vegas Raiders, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, the Las Vegas Aces, and the University of Las Vegas, Nevada Rebels. Hopefully, fingers crossed, MLB team coming soon. Either way, if you folks are looking to have a blast for 1 hour each and every week, tune in Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you folks are interested in Vegas sports news, go to our Twitter at SinCities_IESR, and you can speak with me, the host, Cale Henderson, at Cale_Henderson on Twitter at any time. Be happy to reply. Always willing to reach out to our fans. Again, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Sorry again. That's what I was talking about. We're having some issues here. I don't know. Well, I know what's going on. My internet is terrible. My Wi-Fi router is terrible. But either way, this Wi-Fi is not helping me out right now. All right, let's talk a little bit of baseball. Some NCAA baseball is still going on. We'll start off with number 4 UNC going up against rivals NC State this past weekend. Only got 2 of the 3 games in the books. First game, UNC takes 8-1, and then second game, NC State takes 8-5. So, and then the third game on Sunday was canceled. Unfortunately, we'll have loved to have seen that rubber match and see who could come away with the series win. Unfortunately for us baseball fans, that's not going to be the case this week. Next up for UNC, Tuesday, May 13th, so that's tomorrow. They will take on UNC Wilmington in Chapel Hill, and then close out the season down here in the Sunshine State, Florida, against Florida State Seminoles, and that will be this weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then it's tournament time for the Tar Heels ACC tournament, and then followed by some NCAA tournament action before they hopefully play their way to the College World Series. Following up, UNC at number 4 is a very slow loading page. But next up, we'll take a look at, I think it's going to be North Carolina State, who we just talked about. Nope. Better yet, Coastal Carolina have fought their way to the 11th position in the D1's top 25, D1 baseball's top 25. As these guys continue to just rip through opponents. I think we talked about last time beating Clemson. No, we didn't get to talk about that. They did take down Clemson May 6th, right after the day after the podcast, 5-3 with that win, and then faced UL Monroe on Thursday, Friday, Saturday this past weekend with a 3-game sweep, 8-6, 10-0, and 4-0. So Coastal Carolina doing it and doing it well. They're now 41-11 overall. They are 23-4 in the Sun Belt Conference and only have one team left. That's Old Dominion. They will face them this weekend. So for all your Coastal Carolina fans, tune in, get out there, cheer them on because they are having an incredible season right now. NC State. I lost their position. I was just on it. We'll get back to that in a second, but they're also playing really well. Again, we just talked about the series against North Carolina, but next up for them will be hosting Stanford and Raleigh this Thursday through Saturday, the 15th through the 17th, and that will close out their regular season. So looking forward to that. They are currently ranked 13th. Which means Clemson, who at one point was ranked 4th in these standings, now towards the bottom of our Carolina baseball teams, ranked 15th overall in D1's top 25. Not been having a good go of it as of late, and they just played obviously Coastal Carolina, who they lost to last Tuesday. Man, growing up, these kind of load times would have been just fine in 1999, but now a little bit annoying. So played and lost their series to Duke. Got the first game 9-7 there in Clemson, but then lost their next 2 games to Duke. First one was 15-10, and then lost 8-4 as well, which definitely contributing to Clemson slipping down the rankings, but also contributed to Duke coming up the rankings as they are now ranked 20th in D1's top 20 in the D1 top 25. Again, after that series win against Clemson, they now have Liberty tomorrow, And then this weekend, they'll close out their season against Georgia Tech, hosting them in Durham Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That should be, great way to kind of enjoy your spring weekend coming up, or some games there at NC State or at Duke, depending on your who you favor. Fortunately for you Carolina fans, no games in Chapel Hill this week, as we'll be facing off down here in Tallahassee. All right, let's get over to some softball. I hope things go all right on here, because I want to do some jumping around, because they're definitely they are already into their conference tournaments, and have actually already done. Let's see if I can get this pulled up. Their selection Sunday for this is stuff that I would have done before, but was too busy fighting through lag to get my room set up. All right, NCAA. There we go. Conference tournaments. There we go. Let's come back to softball. Let's talk about the Charlotte Knights first, because I've got all that information ready to go. All right, Charlotte Knights. Let's get back to their colors. We're just flying all over the place here. Don't mind me. We're going to have fun. Right? Yep. Banners. There it is. All right. The lag helped me out there. I was able to knock all that in, and then it finally popped up. So they take a series win against the Memphis Redbirds, who they played this past week. Take the series 4-2. Again, a lot of really good games. Some of these look like, looking back at the scores, really great games. First game was a 5-3. You get scores like that in baseball, you're doing pretty good. But then follow that up with a 12-11 win. Man, that's a lot of scoring. Always a lot of fun. Unfortunately, rain delay postponement on Thursday. And then Friday night's game, they ended up losing that one 10-3. But again, another high-scoring, exciting game. And then Thursday's rain delay met a lot of fun on Saturday with two games. Got the doubleheader. They dropped the first one 4-8, but pick up the second one 3-2. Secures the series win for them. And then Sunday, just more icing on the cake, winning 6-5 on Sunday. So close games, high scoring games, and a lot of fun to be had there. Unfortunately for us, all in Memphis, they're in Charlotte, Truist Field. I've said it before. I can't wait to get back up there at some point. Game in Truist Field. All right, let's see if I can finally get some softball information pulled up. That's not going to load, but this one will. So we'll go here. I'm just trying to get you guys this bracket breakout and who's going to be playing the NCAA tournament. I was going to try to cover some of these conference championships. I can tell you Clemson did win their ACC tournament. That gave them, I think, a number one seed too, a top seed in their region for the NCAA tournament. And for that ACC run, they beat first UVA 7-4, then Virginia Tech 10-9, and then finally FSU 2-1 in the championship game. So really great run there for Clemson to see them get to ACC final. Let's see if we're ever going to get this up. Doesn't look like it, but yep. No. All right. So we'll talk a little lacrosse while we're waiting for that to build up for me. Men's lacrosse, a little bit of a surprise here. Hey, there we go, full bracket. See how long that takes. A little bit of surprise in men's lacrosse. So NCAA tournament has finally gotten going. We talked last week. UNC was going to face off against Richmond. Duke to face off against Georgetown. UNC, I think, was a number 4 seed. Duke, I think, a number 5 or 6 seed. Both Richmond and Georgetown were unseeded, but facing off against UNC and Duke. Both taken down. So UNC and Duke both lose in their opening round of the men's lacrosse tournament, both at home. Really kind of a surprise to see. However, on the women's side, no surprises here as some surprise. No surprises really. UNC women, number 1 seed in the tournament, takes down Clemson in the second round, and then Duke takes down Virginia, and both will advance to the quarterfinals. UNC will take on Princeton. And our bracket loaded up, and we are ready to go. Some good matchups coming on here. All right, let's check out Duke, 14th seed, will be playing Coastal Carolina. So great game there. Coastal Carolina is playing well in softball as well as baseball. And then from there, Clemson, 11th seed, will be playing USC upstate. That's University of South Carolina upstate. If you remember back during the men's basketball season, University of South Carolina played USC upstate as well. Had a nice win there. All right. UNC will open up their softball tournament hopes against the Ohio State in Knoxville. And then, let's see, I think that is going to do it for our Carolina teams. No, it can't be. So we still got South Carolina as an 8th seed. We'll be facing off against Northern Florida. And that will do it for our Carolina-based teams. So looking forward to a good tournament there. Of course, they'll play each of the winners from those regions. Will go on to face each other in the College World Series of softball in Oklahoma City. All right, and I've got just a couple more minutes. So let's talk a little bit of one of my favorite sports. Let's see. Nope, don't have it. I don't have a ticker. So one of my favorite sports, tennis. I love tennis. I actually played a little bit of tennis in high school. I had never played before in my life. Started playing my junior year. Really enjoyed it. Really loved it. I never got super good at it, but I was able to play well enough to enjoy playing against even like really, really good players. And now we've got some great teams here facing off against each other. We'll look here first at the men's NCAA tournament bracket. So this is a team bracket. You've also got singles and doubles bracket, but this is, as a team, how they fare against the other team from the other school. Wake Forest, one of men's tennis most dominant programs. They have a number 1 seed. They have played their way into the quarterfinals and will face Columbia again this weekend, the 16th at 11 a.m. And then also, let's see, I thought I saw them here. Nope, that's going to be it. Wake Forest, the lone men's team representing the Carolinas in the quarterfinals. You did have Duke in the tournament. Started off pretty strong, played Middle Tennessee, beat them up pretty good, honestly, but then fell to the 14th seed Tennessee in the second round. North Carolina State also with a good start, played against South Carolina State and beat them up pretty good. Went on to play Georgia, took down Georgia. but they eventually succumbed to Columbia, who, as we just said, will be moving on to play Wake Forest. And then Clemson got out of the first round as well. Quinnipiac beat them, and then they fell to Columbia 4-2. So let's hope Wake Forest can avenge our other ACC teams and take down Columbia. Also from the Carolinas, we had South Carolina was playing. They opened up their tournament against VCU, and then from there went on to play Florida State, who they defeated as well. Eventually losing to Stanford in the third round there. Let's see, I think that's about it for the men's side. So some great games going on there. Again, like I said, hopefully Wake Forest, we'll see them in the final. Women's side of tennis, some more good stuff here. I had Clemson came in to the tournament, played Wisconsin in the opening round. Unfortunately, they lost 3-4. Duke came in as an 8th seed, took out Bryant 4-0. Then went on in the second round to play Florida Atlantic, who they also defeated 4-0. Then played Auburn in the third round, who they also defeated 4-0. They will next face off against Georgia on the 15th. That's a nice morning start there, 11 a.m. Georgia, a number 1 seed, Duke, the number 8 seed. So it should be an interesting matchup between them. And then if let's see, make sure. Yep, scrolling on down. North Carolina playing well through this tournament as also. They came in as a 5th seed, opened up their match against VCU, took them out 4-0. They went on to play South Carolina, winning that matchup 4-0, 4-0. And then with a nice rivalry face-off against NC State, they played them and won 4-2. They will now face off against a 13th seed LSU, again on the 15th as well. They'll be a little bit later at 2 p.m. NC State, as we just mentioned, got a nice start to the opening round, beating Charleston Southern, and then going on to be Central Florida before eventually losing out to UNC. And that, I think, my friends, will do it. Wake Forest women also thrown in there. Sorry, one last one. Wake Forest women thrown in there as well. But one game to 4. So not great into their season, but we still have North Carolina and Duke going through the women's NCAA tennis bracket. So we'll keep an eye on this throughout the week to see if we can end up, facing off against each other in the championship. Given where they're sitting on the brackets, that's going to be the only way they meet up. All right. Again, if you like what you heard, I know we're all over the place here, but we've got so much to talk about that I want to make sure we try to cover as many sports as possible. So make sure you are going to IE Sports Radio, tuning in there, liking, subscribing. Check out Carolina Sports Update on IE Sports Radio. Like and subscribe that. You'll get notified. You can comment. You can tell me what I'm screwing up. You can tell me what you want to hear, and we will try to get to as much of it as we can. Until next time, guys, keep pounding. Go Heels. Raise up. Whoever you cheer for in the Carolinas, cheer for them loud.